Dire team ban.
All right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for another exciting game at the Dota 2 Game On
Radiant team
Invitational, all that fun stuff. I am joined by the wonderful Danny Lee. Hello there, Danny Lee.
Hello! So we're into game 2 between Finem versus Danish Bears.
I am super excited for this. I mean, we saw a pretty convincing win, I feel, by Danish Bears, just on like the basis of the draft was a lot better, I feel, from Danish. We didn't really get to see Finem get into their element. The Ursa just didn't scale well. They didn't have quite enough lockdown. But we are in game number 2, SS Spartan. He has learned his lessons, and I'm sure we're going to see an A+ draft coming out of him. And A from Danish Bears, the captain, he will be drafting. And so we're getting into our first bans and picks, and it's going to be an Enchantress ban and Keeper of the Light ban coming out of Spartan, and Danish Bears going to ban out that Io. What do you think is going to be the next ban? Is it going to be the Invoker, or maybe the Chen?
It could be an Invoker ban. At this point, I assume it's just the standard bans. Like Invoker, I'd say Invoker and Earth Spirit would be the two biggest heroes to ban out in this patch. Like, we've seen how strong they are as heroes. Not too sure if both teams play Earth Spirit, though. So instead it's going to be the Chen. So instead we're going to see the Earth Spirit
yes.
first pick by Finem instead. So Earth Spirit action. We know what this hero does. Pretty much anyone that has followed Dota recently will know how much of an impact Earth Spirit has had in the patch. He is just the hero to make the plays on.
Absolutely. Even with his slight rework with the Aghanim Scepter, he's still an extremely powerful hero. The thing is we saw some crazy plays out of Spartan in a couple games ago. He might be on the Earth Spirit, it could be someone else, but I did watch a pub where Spartan was hitting like 3 people stuns and like 4 people teamfight silences with this Earth Spirit. So I'm super excited to see who's gonna end up playing this. Now, Danish Bears did ban out the Chen. I do know for a fact that SS Spartan really probably wanted the Chen to be on his team. I think Finem have like an 80% win rate with Chen. It's so good. Yeah, Spartan is an amazing Chen player. Like, I wouldn't say puppy level, but like pretty darn close. He could give Puppy a run for his money. But Danish Bears, they're going to pick up the Night Stalker. I'm a huge fan of this hero at high level Dota. I love the Aghanim Scepter. I love the gem. It makes the vision game so good. However, I am happy to see that looks like Finem kind of like maybe sniffed out what the strategy was going to be, because we have seen Danish Bears do like this crazy vision strategy where they go Night Stalker and Keeper of the Light, but they're going to pick up the Invoker.
So, God, there's like 2 strong heroes already in the pool for both teams. But there's going to be a lot of presence now on the map for Danish Bears. You have a roaming Night Stalker, you have an Invoker that's possibly going to be throwing out Sunstrikes, but the same can now be said for Team Finem, because they now net themselves a Nature's Prophet, so they still have the global presence from that Nature's Prophet to TP in and go for Sprouts, go for Push. So overall, like, both drafts are not really showing the opponent too much of their strategy. Like, even though Danish Bears has a lot of pick-off potential, it doesn't really tell Finem what their complete draft is going to be. Like, for all we know, Danish Bears could pick 3 really strong pushing heroes, or they could be picking, you know, another hero for Roche, so we could all of a sudden have a bit of a Roche-oriented draft from Danish Bears. Or it could be Death Push. It can honestly be anything for both teams. But from what we can already see, I can definitely say that Danish Bears will be exerting a lot of pressure onto Finem, whereas for Finem, I can say with this Earth Spirit pick, they've got a lot of defensive spells to really work with, like the Silence, the Stun from Earth Spirit, and even Nature Prophet TPs definitely help when it comes to counter initiation.
Definitely. I'm interested to see these next couple bans coming out of Finem. We have the Faceless Void, which I feel is not only a strong ban, but also somewhat of a respect ban. The Chronospheres out of Danish Bears were pretty amazing last game. We were seeing, you know, pretty consistently 3 2-man Chronos, which during the team fights was pretty significant. They were almost always on the people that they needed to be on. The Ursa, the Omni Knight, that sort of thing. And even with the Vengeful Spirit, the Chronos were pretty much not. You know, the Chronos were doing exactly what they needed to do, and you weren't even able to get your carry out of the fray. So it looks like Danish Bears are going to ban out the Juggernaut. I really like this ban. We know that Ad Finem would really like to have the Juggernaut on their team because of that healing ward, because of the spin, because of the push potential that he lends. The sustain is just great. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a Dazzle coming out on Ad Finem. What do you think?
Yeah, they can go for a Dazzle themselves if they want to, but right now, I need to ask the question, or at least like at this point, we can only assume, is this a mid Earth Spirit, or is it a support Earth Spirit? If it's a support Earth Spirit, and you also put a Dazzle with it, their lanes are going to be a little defensive for the beginning on, so it's going to be an Oracle. But Oracle does the exact same thing that a Dazzle does. He's mostly there for sustain and a lot of defensive plays. You can play aggressively with the Oracle though, assuming that he does put a lot of points into Purifying Flames.
Yeah.
So Danish Bears off lane still has to be careful. But these lanes for Team Ad Finem, I would say it's quite safe, considering all the spells that they have to counter-initiate if Danish Bears do decide to play aggressively. So like right now, the lanes are looking relatively safe. Although we don't know who's going to be mid yet, so we don't even know what that matchup is supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be an Earth Spirit mid. I don't think I would like to see an Earth Spirit going up against an Invoker mid. You never know. It comes down to the skill of the players. You definitely would need some rotations in. I really like the Disruptor pickoff. Now, the Gyrocopter, very, very strong. Isn't going to have a great time against the Viper or the Invoker, but... And the other thing is, Oracle with the Fate's Edict will be able to hamper the Gyrocopter at least pre-BKB, which I also really like. Disruptor, I like the pick. It's good against the Nature's Prophet. It's good against the Earth Spirit. It's not good enough, unfortunately. It's not good enough to stop, like, the Magnetize, but it's at least going to get him out of there.
Reserve time.
Yeah, but there's so much chase potential with this Disruptor now. So firstly, you have a Night Stalker to be in the front lines, and if the Disruptor's with him, anyone that's being chased down by the Night Stalker is definitely going to be glimpsed back.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of kill potential now in Danish Bears, and I think also a big thing to note is the Static Storm. Viper wouldn't mind being in the Static Storm, but the rest of Ad Finem's draft, if they get caught in the Static Storm Kinetic Field combo, all three of them are very squishy, and they will drop very quickly because they will be comboed with the Gyrocopter. Like, if you look at Danish Bears draft, they have a lot of huge fight spells that will synergize very well, which is very scary for Ad Finem, because you look at their draft, what is their team fight?
Not a lot. I think it's going to have to be this last draft is going to be, like, this last pick is going to have to be the team fight. And the Juggernaut's out of the pool. Danish Bears have picked up the Gyrocopter. They've also picked up the Invoker. Danish Bears are sitting on two, like, tier 1 picks right here. And I'm actually really surprised that Vengeful Spirit was not picked up at all during this game. She hasn't been banned out.
Yeah, even if
like,
Ad
she doesn't
Finem
fit anymore, but yeah.
Exactly. Like, even if Ad Finem picked the Vengeful Spirit maybe instead of the Oracle, this Disruptor pick still would throw the Vengeful Spirit pick off, just because he still always is going to have that glimpse, as long as there's vision on the primary target. So, yeah, I think the Oracle pick here is much better than the Vengeful Spirit, even though Disruptor came last. Darkseer is the last hero. We know what this is. It's just more team fight. You now have Vacuum to set up the cooldown as well as the Static Storm. Even Meteor benefits from the Vacuum setup from Darkseer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's
and
so scary.
Invoker can also buy time for, like, the initiation with the Tornado. You gives Darkseer, even, like, pre-blink, the ability to come in with, like, a great Vacuum. This is going to be a scary, scary team fight lineup from Danish Bears. It's going to be up to Ad Finem to not play to that game. It's going to be, I really feel for Ad Finem, it's going to be about sneaky plays. It's going to be about getting good pickoffs. It's going to be about avoiding team fights and just pushing out down objectives and structures. You cannot go against Danish Bears in a team fight with the lineup that they have. And it will be a support Earth Spirit. So yeah, it's going to be Viper mid and Lycan in the safe lane. I'm actually okay with that.
Lycan. So what are your thoughts on this Lycan pick? He provides push, but in this sort of game, what's the Lycan supposed to do?
I think Spartan is in agreement with kind of what I'm thinking is avoiding the team fights, split pushing, objective-based gaming. It's going to be a Lycan that is going to be chasing down single targets, picking off supports, getting a Necro book, maybe just pushing out towers, Vlads, Roshan. Like, as I said, very goal-based, very objective-based, and that's what Ad Finem are going for. I hope that they aren't going to be team fighting into, like, the vacuum call-down craziness that is Danish Bears draft, but we'll have to end up seeing. So I will start with the introductions. On the Radiant side, we have our good old Night Stalker D already rushing in with the teleport and getting a good ward off. And then in the safe lane, we have our Gyrocopter being played by A. We have Joe Rotten playing the Dark Seer. We then have our Ping playing the Invoker once again, and Mango playing the Support Disruptor. And Danny Lee, take it away for the Dire.
Okay, so on the side of Ad Finem, on the Dire squad for today, we have Spartan on our Support Earth Spirit. Right next to the Observer Ward that was planted down by the Night Stalker, we have semicolon on the Viper. Moving up towards the top section of the lane, maybe next time on the Oracle, the one on the Lycan, and finally we have one more hero. It is going to be our Nature's Prophet being played by Skylark, who's just waiting in the fountain.
Yeah, he's gonna get those early treants, give him a little bit more lane presence, and it looks like we're just gonna see a straight up rune change here, like just probably on the Invoker and on the Viper. Keep them on toe-to-toe. They might give it to 1-2, but I think I'd rather see it on the Viper.
Battle begins.
Alright.
So, semicolon played the Viper last game, and unfortunately he didn't really have the best game as the Viper. Now, I wouldn't say it was because he lost the lane, it was just the rest of the game, like, Danish Bears pretty much ran away with that previous. It wasn't just because the Viper lost the lane. He's playing this hero again. Now, what is the Viper's goal in this mid lane? Is it just to slow down the Invoker? Or is there a chance that the Viper's going to have to be considered a tempo controlling hero if he can get that lead that he's looking for?
I definitely would like to see him be kind of more about the tempo control, but the problem is that he does need to win the lane against the Invoker. Already in top lane, maybe next time, getting himself knocked down with the Night Stalker and the Dark Seer. He's getting very low, and so is the one. Those ion shells are just absolutely destroying. There will be the... Alright, he seems to be okay. Fortune's End does come out, but nothing really too crazy. However, Earth Spirit, ready to come up behind. There's going to be 2. There is a ping, but everyone's pretty much fully healed at this point. Regen being popped, healing selves, and tangos, and everyone's really back into a great position for fighting. Meanwhile, Viper trying to do his best to force out Ping out of his lane, pushing up way ahead. And first blood is going to be drawn by Mango on the Disruptor in the bottom. Luckily, we didn't miss it, but our Nature's Prophet got very low there, and there was going to be another ping at the top. This is Ad Finem at their best. They're always trying to get those early kills before that kind of 7-minute mark. They really do need to do their best. The one will pick up some XP on that hard camp. Ping going for the Forge Spirits, Cold Snap. It's a pretty solid Invoker build, to be honest, against the Viper.
Absolutely. The scary thing here is that because Ad Finem got that one kill on Skylark on the Nature's Prophet, we talked about this in the previous game, that Nature's Prophet forces a lot of pressure onto the safe lane, just because he's able to be so aggressive with the harass the support, and to get a kill like that, that is huge for the Nature's Prophet. Because not only is he going to get a huge influx of gold, but it puts a lot more pressure on this offlane on the for the Darkseer and the Night Stalker to really perform. Like, yeah, Darkseer is getting EXP, but you're not completely denying a Lycan. Like, this hero can jungle, this hero can go for Roche. So even though he's being set back a little bit in farm, like once he gets level 6, the Lycan can actually go for kills. So
mid ping.
Oh,
there's a Nature's Prophet coming in. There will be a cold snap on Spartan and a Sunstrike.
So Spartan drops. Can they get a jump onto the Night Stalker? Oh, they get a quick sprout off. 2 more hits, 1 more, they get it! Skylark there. That TP from the Nature's Prophet was huge, netting them both kills. They lost Spartan. That doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
get
I think
two
he's
heroes.
he's still level 1, so there's no real Oh, and the top Spartan already part of the team fight. There will be a surge. There's the counter.
Oh, that disable.
And Darkseer getting blocked by the good micro by those wolves! Is it gonna be enough? Just one more right click. There will be a heal. Fairy Fire comes out, but there will be another surge, and he's just okay. So close.
Oh, Fairy Fire. If the Lycan didn't have that Fairy Fire, he actually would have died to that last tower shot. That was very, very close. If they got the kill onto the Darkseer, then that would have been huge for that safe lane, as it would have pretty much recovered their lane. Oh, the one! Is possibly gonna drop? No, they don't commit with the Night Stalker, and instead he will be forced back. Oh god, Skylark is here with the body box. They're gonna try and go for a kill onto the Night Stalker. He's very tanky though, and it looks like he should be able to get out Sprouts there, but he instantly cuts through the trees. Oh god, lots of action in that top lane.
Those pro body blocks though.
Oh, you can see how Finem is so focused on body blocking. Like, even the Lycan did it. Pinman check in the mid lane. Oh, that Fairy Fire saving his life. How many Fairy Fire saves have we seen in this game?
3.
Seen a lot.
Every single Fairy Fire that was purchased has saved a life.
This item has been so great. Oh god.
Oh, Skylark though. He's not in a great position.
Oh, the TPs. Oh, Skylark's gonna drop. Oh, Spartan.
Double stun.
He gets sent back. That glimpse
Goodbye.
From
yeah.
Well, that's rather unfortunate. Oh, actually, Oracle dies in that top lane. Oh, I think he was just denying himself to the port out. Never mind. He just wants a quick trip back to Fountain. I was like, why is he dead?
Yeah, he denies himself to neutrals. That's a good strat, honestly. But Spartan doing some really great plays with the Earth Spirit already, and looks like. There's 3 here. There's no tree cover too, so there's not a lot of like juking potential for Skylark underneath the tower.
And Oracle can't TP either, because he TP'd to the top lane, so there's very little support available. But it looked like the trees are a little bit too much for Mango, and also the Glimpse was on cooldown. If Glimpse was there, they definitely would have gotten the kill onto Skylark.
Certainly. It should be mentioned that Invoker actually is really not doing well in this lane. Viper is almost level 7, Invoker is level 4. Invoker also sitting only on 11 last hits, Viper on 35. So this is what we were talking about before from the last game with this Viper Invoker lineup from Finem. Finem know how to beat an Invoker. It just didn't happen last game, but it's happening this game. This Invoker is completely irrelevant in this lane. He's level 5 now. And it's going to be a level 7 Viper. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, another reason why the Viper's doing so well this game was because he got so much gold with all the kills and assists that happened in the mid lane. So he was getting so many levels as well, and it just became too overwhelming for Pinmancheck to really deal with him. If that didn't happen, then we may have seen the exact same thing happen in the previous game, where Pinmancheck would have actually finished on footing with the Viper. So for Semicolon to get this sort of a lead, it's great for the Viper, because it means that he is not only going to be a much more relevant threat this game, but at least he's going to have much more impact this game compared to the previous one, where he didn't really do that much.
Yeah, that's very true. And just to quickly take a look at the items that are coming out, we have the Phase Boots coming out on Skylark. Meanwhile, we have the Power Treads Aquila on the Viper. Vlad's on the way for the 1. And looks like actually a Soul Ring, pretty much the only significant item other than maybe an Aquila on the Gyrocopter. Considering, though Gyrocopter is farming fairly well. I mean, he's consistently getting this hard camp and the lane creeps.
Good news though for Noah on the Gyrocopter. Like, Gyrocopter as a carry doesn't need much. Oh, actually, looks like there's going to be a bit of a wraparound as we've got our Lycan hiding in the trees. If they did see the one, they definitely would have jumped on him. He's such a fragile hero, right? But Gyrocopter is a carry. I've seen teams play their carries aggressively just because he has that cooldown. Like 55-second cooldown on such an amazing spell. You constantly want to fight with that if you can. I think in particular it was...
Oh, the one silenced!
He's being kept alive that little bit longer, and he will be able to survive everything. Although the illusion's going to be chasing him down, he drops low, but now Spartan will be the one to get dumped on. Oh, Sunstrike, oh, very close. The one almost ran into it. Spartan, though, they got the TP in from the nature's proper, but here comes the Gyrocopter, as I said. He comes with the cooldown. They kill off the Earth Spirit. And now Skylark is in a bit of a weird spot. Now he runs into 3 heroes. The Void will slow him down. They're going to chase him. This Nature's Prophet should be dropping 1 more hit, 2 more hits. Oh, he gets a quick sprout off, and that buys him time. And Darcy died to the tower in the meantime. They've got our gyrocopter retreating in the backside. No one's going to be there to greet him, so he's fine. Unfortunately, Viper couldn't kill the Night Stalker. So all in all, it ended up being 2 for 1.
Yeah, that was really well done. It was just a little bit of a poor decision, I feel, from AF to be able to... They wanted to commit to the fight, but the problem was that it was still nighttime. Nightstalker was still getting his bonus movement speed and attack speed, and I feel like that was really kind of what was the little bit of a tipping point for that particular fight. I feel like...
Skylark. Poor Mango. Mango does have 6, but looks like he's going to keep that ultimate. Oh, he might be able to survive with this. 2 more hits from Skylark.
Oh.
Never mind, the one's enough. The howl coming in from the Lycan was enough.
Oh, meanwhile on top, we have a little bit of a rotation. Oh, just some Vipers. Viper poison. Nothing too crazy. Some wolves pecking away at the tower. It looked a little bit more aggressive on my mini-map than it really was. Alright, and looks like Invoker is... catching up slowly. Is this gonna be... Yeah, it looks like it is gonna be a Midas.
Yeah, he definitely needs the Midas this game. Like, considering how his laning phase went, he needs to catch up in both gold as well as EXP. So just grabbing this item, definitely the right decision for the Invoker. I'm hoping that it's going to be enough to bring Pimvinchek back into the game soon. Because Danish Bears sort of needs their Invokers very, very soon to really make these team fights happen. Down towards bottom there, they managed to catch out Spartan. And that was with Mango's ultimate too, so heavy commitment for a support. It's a kill's a kill, and Disruptor's Static Storm cooldown isn't necessarily long, so just to grab a kill like that is a pretty big win for a Disruptor in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems like mid lane, they want to try and make a push happen. Or not. Never mind.
Oh, we do have a teleport out from Skylark. He does manage to see the Darkseer, just farming in the jungle. Also, there was a rotation into the jungle to try to catch out this Lycan, but they didn't end up getting him. Oh, Nightstalker! And there's a Sprout, gonna try to get away. Skylark! Oh, no vacuum! And that means that Skylark will end up escaping that gank, and they do pick up the Nightstalker because of that.
So great kill, going in the way of Finem to grab a little kill like that. Even if it's just a Night Stalker, every kill counts for their draft. They do not want to. They don't want to fight against Danish Bears on equal footing, and just to get any kill to get them further and further ahead. Poor Mango is going to get jumped on in that bottom lane. Like a mini glimpse onto Skylark, he didn't really care. Although the heal coming from the Oracle nuke is going to be a bit of a backside pain as actually Disruptor is now starting to heal up. Although we do have our Earth Spirit who's going to try and cut off this poor Disruptor. Mango, he gets run into, a couple of hits from Spartan. Is it going to be enough? And he does get taken out. So good snipe from Spartan to finish off that Disruptor.
Yeah, definitely worth it. I feel like this is the big issue, is there's actually 2 levels in Fortune's End. All of the kills that have been missed by maybe next time would have been secured if he had 1 more level in Fortune, or in Purifying Flames.
Roshan attempt though from Finem. Now Pimvinchek has spotted this out with the Sunstrikes. They did know this is happening. Roche is not below half. It will be coming down very shortly. This is very scary. There's so many good Roche team fight spells for Danish Bears, it's ridiculous. Finem is now hesitating around the Roche pit because they know that they're all here and waiting for them to go back into that Roche pit. So it looks like Finem may just retreat for now and leave that Roche. Gyrocopter did check it, so unfortunately for Danish Bears, no team fight will happen. But for now, they will definitely keep an eye on that Roche pit, because if they do see anyone going in there, that is an ideal situation to grab a multi-hero fight win, just to grab those kills. Like, all the AoE is phenomenal. Oh, glimpse.
Oh, good glimpse.
Yeah, he's dead. Can't really say too much about the Oracle. Just dropped so quickly.
Alright, so the Earth Spirit is now level 6. We'll give them a little bit... Oh, what's happening bottom? The one being chased. I don't think we're going to see very much out of there. Just a little bit of harassment.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And top tower does end up falling with the help of Skylark. And Finem are actually playing this really well. They're... Oh? Mid, getting the vision. It is nighttime, but looks like this tier 1 will end up falling. There is no rotation yet from the Disruptor or the Gyrocopter, which they really need. Oh, there's the stun. Viper Strike coming out.
It's a nice
No
stalker.
real. Yeah,
He is
there's no follow-up.
such a scary hero. He has so much HP. If you commit to him, there's a high chance that it's enough time for Danish Bears to counter-initiate.
I'm also a fan of Gyrocopter. I wanted to mention this during the draft, that this is definitely going to be like a Sanjin Yasha drums phase boots Gyrocopter. You're not going to see like that typical Helm of the Dominator, just because of the need for mobility in these team fights. He needs to go up against a Viper, he needs to go up against a Lycan if you know, the team fights do happen, which for DB they really do want them to happen. So yeah, it's definitely going to be like a stats heavy gyro build. Oh, here's a smoke though.
Oh, they could run into Spartan or the one. Looks like Spartan's the first one to spot.
Oh my goodness, 4-person stun!
Oh gosh, that pretty much foiled Danish Bears smoke. And look at everyone on the side of Finem. They're gonna start chasing them down. Unfortunately, there's no great chasing here outside of the Earth Spirit for this. So Finem, they chase him down for a little bit, but Bears, they're in their own sort of position here, ready to try and go for a team fight if it does arise. Well, this is actually quite a tense moment for both teams now. Oh, Spartan, do not go up that hill, my friend. There are a lot of heroes. There is actually a
well, if he gets glimpsed in, he can use...
Spartan. He tries to go for a spin, but unfortunately he still gets glimpsed back and he's going to drop immediately. No, they're going to keep him alive with the Oracle ult and the cooldown as they're not doing that much, but the Oracle dropping very low. They already popped the Magnetize. 2 are down already for Danish Bears. They're going to lose a third in the Gyrocopter as well. The one. He is the one, the chosen one. 4 heroes down. We lose one, which is the Darkseer is to kill into the Oracle, but when all that's said and done, 4 heroes dead for Danish Bears. You would actually think they would have the edge in a massive teamfight scenario.
That went so well. It was completely down to the fact that the Oracle got the false promise off on the Earth Spirit just in time. Earth Spirit was able to get the Magnetize off. It caused a lot of disruptions in the actual team fight. And the problem was Danish Bears, the second that didn't go perfectly kind of executed, they end up splitting up the team fight. And that actually gave Lycan more of a chance to pick off the supports and get a couple really great kills. He ended up picking up the Invoker, and also the Sprouts were offering a lot of utility in that. I'm really surprised that team fight went as well as it did, and it really did come down to that Oracle keeping the Earth Spirit alive just long enough to get that Magnetize off. That was really well played.
This is just giving Finem a chance at that third game, which is a game that they desperately need to win if they want to stay in this tournament. And obviously for Danish Bears, like, they still need to win too.
Oh, top, maybe next time.
Yeah. Maybe next time, my friend. Just go back to Fountain, have a drink. That's fine. They're gonna lose the T1 in the process though, but Lycan may try and go for a bit of a push in this bottom lane. He is down here by himself, but if you leave a Lycan uncontested in a lane, he does push incredibly quickly.
Alright, and there he goes. Good tread swapping, gonna pick up a little bit of mana. Oh, yeah, ends up the Disruptor using up the ult, but not really netting anything out of it. They are going to go for the tier 2 and try to push the issue, but Lycan's going to be able to... Oh, he's just going to farm the jungle, never mind. Alright, here come the TP responses.
Do they have the chase? So Nature's Prophet, the one to start off the fight. They're going to try and pick off Check here. He is down to half. The Magnetize has been deployed. Skylight dropping low. Here comes the Gyro, but the false promise keeps his allies alive. Like, the plays coming out from this Oracle has been superb. They're going to try and chase down this poor Gyro that's going to go for a TP out. Unfortunately, he will drop. And Night Stalker now by himself. Are there any disables? Can they finish him off? A couple of hits and he TPs out. Too tanky. But it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. A Gyro for an Oracle. Obviously a huge win for Finem to grab that position 1 kill.
Most definitely, and this is how these teamfights have been going. It's just been pretty much supports falling, the cores stay alive, and DB are trading their cores for essentially support kills. It's not worth it for them at all, and I really feel like they should be executing these teamfights a lot better, but maybe it just comes down to the Darkseer really needing his Blink Dagger to be able to get those vac walls off, and I mean, the Midas isn't offering a lot for ping at the moment. And we have no Aghanims yet coming out on D, so there's not a lot of high value items for Danish Bears. Meanwhile, I mean, Ad Finem, they have the mech on the Viper, and they have the Vlads. It's going to help during the team fights. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking it might just even come down to this really great synergy for AF. That's one thing that I will say about AF is that their communication, their synergy is off the charts. There is a reason why they end up winning the Pro Dota Cup Season 2. However, Danish Bears actually did end up winning Beyond the Summit Open Qualifiers number 2. So both teams pretty strong in the tournament scene.
I would say that Ad Finem's retaliation as well has been superb. They just know when to go. Because Danish Bears, they've just been unfortunately confuddulated for the majority of the game. Like, they have great team fight, just the execution really hasn't been there. It's mostly been Ad Finem controlling the tempo of the game, getting the fights that they want. Night Stalker cancels the TP with the kick. Oh, Spartan with the plays. And that's going to be the Night Stalker off the table for 37 seconds. No lanes can really be pushed though outside from that mid lane, and it seems this will transition into a mid at T2 push.
I'm actually surprised that didn't turn into a tier 2 bottom, but it's really great to get rid of that mid control.
They can't push bottom. The creep wave was just too far.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's all the way up there.
So it'll still be a mid T2. Like, this is still a huge hour to take down if you're Ad Finem 20 minutes into the game.
Oh, using the drum?
Bit of map control. Okay, they're doing the safe thing. They're going to put the one up there by himself. He has Aegis, so he doesn't mind if he tanks a lot of the damage. He will go into Lycan form first, though, which is rather interesting. So here we go, taking a lot of damage. Now, remember, if he dies with this Aegis, he doesn't have the Lycan form, which is going to be a bit of a problem as the Lycan can't do too much false promise onto the Oracle himself, and the one's going to try and come back into the fight, but he is going to start running out of this Lycan form very, very shortly. So once he comes into that, he's going to be the very slow Lycan. It doesn't really matter, though. They get 2 out of 1. But it seems that this push is going to be slowed down a little bit. But do they keep going? There's still this Aegis on Lycan, because he didn't really go into the fight. He shapeshifted into Lycan, then he backed up, and then he tried to go back into the fight. And then by the time he came back in, Lycan form was over. It doesn't really matter. Looks like the tower's going to be...
Oh, well done, Orchid!
Not Noah. They can't afford to lose Noah. This might actually force a buyback onto the Gyrocopter to hold their racks as Mango's melting! Mango's melting! He dies to the Viper! Now Pimpin checks to be stunned up by this really, really annoying Spartans. We need to give Spartan a medal. He has just had so many amazing kicks this game, just setting up for his team every single time.
Absolutely. Should be mentioned that the one during that team fight, the Aegis did end up expiring, but it did not stop them from taking this mid-racks. This is a huge victory for AF. Oh, Skylark? Silence? Oh no, Spartan's already on top of that. They want to go in again!
Oh no, they can't afford to lose these heroes. Danish Bears already losing Raxes. If you lose too many heroes in your base, there's a very, very high chance that Ad Finem may try and go for a cheeky play, maybe to do a little bit of damage to those T4s.
Oh, the glimpse!
Glimpse. Can they kill Skylark? They have to grab something at least. Glimpse has been converted, but it doesn't really matter. They're not even jumping. Cooldown is there. Gyrocopter trying to be the hero. Noah, can he find anything? The false promise is too strong. The gyro is gonna go down. Vacuum wall combo finally comes out, but it's too late. Everyone is dead. Danish Bears are only left with Pimvinchek, and he's only coming out of the fountain. GG. We are moving into a game 3.
Wow, that turned quite unexpectedly. I wasn't sure if it was gonna... I didn't think it was gonna end this early. What an amazing play by AF. They certainly rallied. They knew that they're... You know, they have to go into game number 3. They have to win 2 games in a row. And that's exactly what we're going to see. So we are going to see a game number 3, ladies and gentlemen, in this amazing series. I'm so happy. This was just a great game.
Very quick game as well. 21 minutes. We don't normally see games going this quickly.
It's very true.
Because the game happened this quickly, I'm actually expecting a potentially long one for the 3rd game.
Yeah, both teams are going to have to draft extremely safe. And I really feel, just in that the Oracle and the Earth Spirit were what kind of cinched that victory. 14 assists on SSA. Like, that's just insane. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, Danny Lee and myself will be right back after a few messages from our sponsors, and we're going to go into game number 3 between Danish Bears and Ad Finem.